Oh my god, it's my partner anniversary?
Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
How many years?
Oh my god, the pop-up just disappeared. Probably around 7?
Hell yeah.
Possibly?
I have not kept mine.
Yeah, I'm like, it was like, happy partner anniversary. I'm like, thanks. I
think I'll be 5 this year.
Congrats.
Eventually.
Oh,
it was a rough one.
Wang Doodle, welcome back.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
You're alive, you're kicking, you're here. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, just now you gotta get new identities. You know how it is. Sell your soul to a demon. Demon tries to hunt you down for it. You don't feel like paying up because it's owed actually to 3 other demons.
Yeah.
Hate tax season. You know what I mean?
Yo, yeah. Ooh. Too much of that soul.
That's honestly on the demon for not checking the escrow on that soul.
True.
He didn't clear the title. That's his own fault.
Wang Doodle's got a dirty fucking title.
Look, I just exist. It's fine. It's, actually, it's the greatest soul you've ever seen. It's the best in the world. Definitely accurate to the values I put on the paper.
So you appraised higher than your actual worth. Good job.
When you add in the unpublished value of the sheer audacity I had of the plan in the first place, the value really does go up.
I use the same logic when people try to cold call to buy my house, and they go, "Well, how much do you think it's worth?" And I go, "Well, there's market value, but it'll really shoot up once they find the bodies." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "You know how serial killers would bury their victims in their houses? They come kind of morbid tourist attractions. You'll make so much more money when that happens."
Oh yeah, you Airbnb that shit and you just put haunted house, but it's actually haunted with the real spirits of
The previous owner murdered 75 people and buried them throughout the walls.
And it's constantly booked.
Yeah, so on paper my house is worth $500,000, but with incentives, I could probably charge around $4 million.
I like how you're gloriously turning murder into an incentive for home buyers. Honestly,
they call me.
ingenious. Just fuck with them. That is peak goblin energy.
When they call you for your car's extended warranty, I go, "Yeah, I want to buy that." And they go, "Okay, cool. What do you drive?" And I just say I drive a really nice Lambo. They go, "We don't cover that." And I go, "Do you drive anything else?" I go, "Why would I drive anything else?" And then they go, "Well, we don't cover that." I go, "So what do you want to do now?" Do you drive a Honda Civic? I'm like, "No, I'm not a poor." And then they usually hang up.
Absolute masterful bait, sir.
You never claimed your travel voucher. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got in a really bad accident. I actually lost both my legs." They go, "Oh, so you can't go?" And I go, "Excuse me, I'm not I'm crippled. I'm not bedridden. I can still travel." And they go, you can hear them stutter and go off script, and then they hang up, and then they never call you anymore because I get put on the do not call list, and it's kind of bums me out, but they don't call you anymore, so I guess it's a win-win.
See, I need to actually do something like that because the amount of cold marketing calls I'm getting lately is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you just fuck with them until they hang up and they don't call you anymore.
Insane.
The goal is to get them to hang up on you, not you hang up on them.
I don't have the patience or possibly the cleverness for that. But we'll see. Everybody, welcome back to another glorious episode of Arctis. Oh my god, excuse me. I just got back from Atlanta, 4 hours ago. I'm a little eepy, but I told you I'm down for D&D, and I'm down for D&D. Plus, I prepped for 3 sessions, so I thought ahead. Rain, how's your week been?
We'll just, weeded our side yard, so that was fun. Filled up 2 green bins worth of weeds.
Nice.
this wet weather in California, man.
Send it our way, please.
Killed our sunflowers, actually, apparently. Apparently our, native sunflowers don't like how much rain we've had, because we called the nursery and we're like, hey, they're dying. What's up? And they're like, yeah, a lot of people's are dying because of the weather. Sorry.
Oh, that's a bummer. Are they getting root rot because they're just too wet?
I don't know. I think it's just they don't like too much water, and they don't like it too cold. They like it when they're supposed to get it, because again, they're California native. Like, our whole landscaping is California native plants. So yeah, I'm not sure what it was. We cut them back, then most of them started to grow back just fine, and then they just all wilted and died. And these are big bushy, woody bushy plants. They're not traditional sunflowers.
Well, that's a bummer. It always sucks when your landscaping goes for whatever reason. I've had a couple aloe vera I've had to save from the root rot because the initial landscapers planted them just essentially in their own soil and really, really shallow. And so when it was just like putting it in a shallow vase, and when my sprinklers would go off, the bottom just filled with water because the bottom is clay. They didn't dig down deep enough, and some of the roots rotted. So I had to take it out and repot it and put it in the hospital, and now he's replanted in a new spot and doing better. But yeah, caught it before it died completely, but my other aloe at least are starting to look like sea swab's yucca, because they got that one single shoot just going straight up to the sky. And I've got one that's 6 feet tall right now. It's way taller than I am, but it is not roof height like sea swab's yucca. Which is insane, actually, by the way.
It is a
What? Don't leave me hanging.
Caribbean agave is the plant that we have.
Caribbean agave. Nice.
I had to check with Nicole. She was sitting next to me. I had to double check what the name was. I know it was Caribbean something.
So are we saying that sea swab's plants are sultry little minxes just sticking their sexual organs up in the air, shaking around like they just don't care?
I mean, that's 9 feet of organ.
Yep. Fully
erect. Once it's done, it's dead.
God, I'd be tired too.
It's got to get that shit pollinated.
Wang Doodle, how was your week?
A bit calmer than I was anticipating. Unfortunately, all my weeks are starting to roll together, so I'm trying to think if there was any catastrophes this week or
no servers exploding, hopefully.
Listen, it's a long weekend, and I haven't looked at that stuff since 3 p.m. Eastern Time Friday. So if anything has gone wrong, I ain't seen it.
Kozlo, how's your week been? How's streaming?
That's good. I'm getting back into a normal streaming schedule and taking forward some of the ideas from the streamathon, which meant that I also had to do a random roll drink.
No!
It ended up being God, what was it? Milk Baja Blast.
No, stop!
Onion powder.
No! It was bad. It was really bad.
What?
I forget what else was in it. This. Oh, Pop Rocks was in there. There was one other thing that I don't remember what it was.
As soon as I saw the roll, I was streaming too, so I'm trying to get back into it myself. And I just went, I'm not gonna watch this one. No. I'm out. I'm tapping out.
Tapping out.
Did you make Baja Blast, cherry syrup, onion powder, and Pop Rocks.
It's so fucking gross.
So fucking bad.
It was actually honestly, if it wasn't for the onion powder, it probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
It just ended up tasting like a weird melted smoothie plus onion powder.
Gross. That is
Plus
so
Pop Rocks.
cursed. But you
But that was
survived?
fun.
You drank it all?
Oh yeah, that is very far from the worst one I've done.
You know, we're gonna have to do
He's
like
not
a
wrong.
recap of like Devo's top 5 horrible drinks he has drunk.
I've been recording all of them so that I can turn them into like YouTube shorts, TikTok videos and stuff. I just need to find the time to actually do that.
Amazing. It's like 30 Shades of Grey, but the gray is the color draining from your face.
Mhm.
But C-Swab, how's your week been?
Nicole went out of town for her friend's son's birthday, so I was home alone with the dogs. So I did basically nothing, and it was great, and I loved it. And then I'm not looking forward to going back to work, but yeah, I did nothing, and it felt great.
Hey, but congratulations on Realm First Master Enchanter.
Still got it. Still got it.
Still got it, boys. That's good. That is a good accomplishment.
It cost me a lot of gold because I knew it was close between me and this other guy, and so I just said I bit the bullet and spent a lot of money to make sure I fucking went over the top.
That's my boy. Pay to win.
You can get more gold. You can't get back a Realm First.
True. And real. Grebella, how's your week?
Been good. Trying to get back to streaming more, and we had people over this weekend. Yes.
What?
Our real friends. Silly.
Real people.
It's one of our roleplay friends that lives an hour, 2 hours away. LA time. Had a birthday last weekend, but we couldn't get around to doing shit until this weekend. I made a spaghetti sauce from scratch and some focaccia and some cake, and we had a lot of drinks and hung out. So that was real nice. And then we're in RP getting ready for the big blowout war. That's probably the end of the season, supposedly, maybe.
Nice. Oh, very good.
Where all the trauma will happen.
Yeah, speaking of all the trauma that will happen, previously on Arctis.
There's your segue. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Since Wangdoodle missed last session, we had a little bit of a preparation and altercation, as you all tried to create a replica of Narcissa's skull from the elven scroll you brought back from Maginox. You had managed to make a damn fine replica. However, the Deep One Archimandrite that had pushed in your friends on a little skiff did not even seem interested in seeing it, and sicked a kraken spawn upon Rascal's Reef, along with a bunch of strange stitched-together sea gnolls, plus a bunch of curious sea zombies that had barnacles and seaweed and other curious things sewn to their undead flesh. And as the Archimandrite's geas, now that he had delivered Rain's friends back safe and sound, was fulfilled, he didn't seem interested in sticking around for the festivities, and hoped the Kraken spawn would drag Rain underwater, where he could then grab the skull for himself. That is not at all how that worked out for him, by the way. As Rain disintegrated the Kraken spawn twice, putting 2 large holes in it that were large enough to kill it, and the rest of the party worked to save literally all of the people of Rascal's Reef from being overrun by undead sea creatures from the abyss. Excuse me. Even Kozlo's little sister was saved from a sea gnoll by Grebella's mighty dragon wings as she flew over the water. And we cannot forget Kozlo sending in the cannon via catapult, launching it too over the rocky seas. And as everything was vanquished, Rain had left the Archimandrite with a message. Well, it wasn't a message, it was a psychic lance, but it drove the point home. That even though the Archimandrite was still lurking and not in combat, Just knowing his name was enough to drive a psychic bolt into his skull and send him scuttling back down into the abyss. With Rascal's Reef saved, Rascal himself had a bit of an epiphany and a come-to-Goblin Jesus moment with Kozlo. It seemed like Rascal was actually trying to atone for his sins, as he had sent Kozlo's mother down to the abyss as a trade in order to keep both Rascal's Reef afloat, but in complete subservience to the lich below, one Nerys Flowborn. Now, Rascal, as long as Rosie was alright, Rascal did not seem to have any problems with gaining other boons and power from this abyss-dwelling sea lich, and had turned a lot of the other Greenfingers into sea creatures themselves, altering their bodies with ill-gotten gains and body parts that were probably taken from other living things, now sewn onto goblin flesh. Excuse me. Desert air's a little dry, might need a little bit of water. Okay. But Rascal's deal with Nerys did offer the rest of the Greenfingers assorted boons, which, by comparison, he remarked as being trite. Some goblins taking gills that allowed them to breathe underwater, and others taking things like shark-like teeth, altering their appearance. But Rascal, aside from the eels in the belly, was at Nerys's complete mercy, as he didn't want anything to happen to Rosie either, but was too cowardly himself to stand up to the lich. But now, with you here and the Archimandrite sent scuttling home, it was up to you to decide what your next plans would be. And as Wangdoodle spent a significant amount of time last session aboard the ship, preparing it and altering its power structure, drawing most of the power away from the main cannon, such as the disintegrate cannon at the front of the ship, but adding a little bit of special juice to some of the cannons on the side of the ship, Wangdoodle, with your power diversion, as you worked last session, you did devise a way to have the cannons shoot out at things that may want to poke your ship's bubble as you descend down into the abyss, combining, a little bit of that slow magic in order to bore a hole, just momentarily, in the protective bubble around you and allow you to fire a cannon shot out, and then the hole would regenerate. A true feat of artificery. So at least while you were going down into the abyss, in case anything decided to accost your ship, you would have a couple cannons online and ready to work. And now, most of the things and the preparations are ready. You just need a little bit of combination of Rain's magic, Artificer magic, and, a lot of luck in order for this protective bubble to protect the airship while it withstands the pressure of the ocean. Couple notes here. Ah, yes. You've also received, excuse me, a map showing the approximate location of the abyss. And hopefully, that'll help get you to your location, safe, quote-unquote, safe and sound. I believe you all decided to go back to the Audacity. Is that correct? After last session? Excuse me. I skipped one thing. After Rascal's bit of atonement, he allowed you to raid the stores of Rascal's Reef, offering a bevy of rewards, magical items that he has traded for over the years, and not to mention a massive, massive cache of gold. But Rascal did, he did tell you that you can take what you need in order to survive the trip, but it might be nice to leave something for Rascal's Reef so it doesn't go under completely. But that was entirely up to you. Kozlo could have very easily taken the tens of thousands of gold in Rascal's Reef stores and left the island to languish. But Kozlo, also, your little sister does believe that if you all do triumph over the Lich, you can remove her malign influence from your goblin family by returning them to the muck. And hopefully those added limbs and other disgusting, non-goblin-y things that your relatives have acquired will go back to the primordial ooze you and your other goblin kind have come from. So, let us hope you triumph. Rain, now I will re-ask the question. I believe after you raided the stores, you didn't take all the money. You left some stuff. You left a shield. You left some other magical items there. And you decided that you were going to go back to the Audacity and then go to Maginox to make some final preparations. Is that correct?
Yes. Sure. Yes? Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty.
Yes. That was the
Well, I'm
only
one to give into peer pressure, so yes.
Wangdoodle, you're already there. We don't know how you got back there. You just vanished, and we assume you're there. We hope you're there, actually. It'd be really awkward if Wangdoodle got kidnapped by the fish people and we didn't even notice.
Sick hasn't gotten a letter in a week and stolen me to
Just concerned.
Shows up. What did you
Wangdoodle,
do to my
you never
child?
call me anymore.
She's gonna be sailing over the open ocean. Wangdoodle!
She was terrible at the thesis. Trying to defend the thesis. Like, none of that makes sense anyway. These you made these words up. Not now, Mom!
Exactly.
Wonderful.
So what were the final preparations that you wanted to do in Maginox before you took the Audacity to the Abyss, the Arctis side of the Abyss? Anybody?
Rain glances nervously at the 4 artificers on the crew.
The 4 artificers.
Sir, I am a Stormcrow.
Sorry, we have 2 NPC artificers employed on the Audacity and 2 in the party.
Oh, I did not know about the employment.
Yeah.
Technically, it's 1.5 employed.
You're right, you're on an internship, Wangdoodle. We forgot about a paid internship.
Yeah,
So I
we
believe
covered that last time with, you guys are getting paid?
Wait, you're getting paid? Excuse?
So,
we pay Esther, the former PC, more than we pay Wangdoodle.
because you don't have your airship right here in Rascal's Reef, what I believe you did was headed back into the Dreaming and then exited out the portal from the Dreaming to the Audacity, which is in Maginox.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely went. I definitely remember us doing the dreaming thing. I remember that.
Yeah. Also, Grebella, Rain, Grebella had that strange vision of Nerys dipping a fishhook into Grebella's subconscious and pulling out a chunk of her soul, and came to the conclusion that there was something going on, at least with the ethereal realm, the realm of spirits and souls, that might be affecting Grebella more than the others. Grebella is a severed soul herself, and may be more sensitive to these fluctuations if there is some sort of rift or tear in the ethereal realm.
Right. Did we want to look into any of that anymore with either Alara on the dreaming side, or maybe even Lina on the ethereal side? Is that like a thing you want to do, Grebella?
That is entirely up to you.
Say your sentence again.
Would you
Rain?
like to look into your creepy dream with
Um,
Alara, who is a master of the dreaming, or Lina, who has a lot of experience with the ethereal?
She knows Lina. So she'd definitely be likely more comfortable with Lina, but would be... She figures it'd be better to poke and have to be yoinked out than not poke at all, probably.
I don't know what that means.
We're gonna poke in my brain.
Ooh. Well,
Okay.
you can absolutely ask either of them. One somewhat easy way to access Lina is at least via Kozlo's den, which you know has a shady replica that shimmers in the ethereal and allows for the reborn in spirits that have come back, that are still restless and getting used to being reborn and acclimating them, slowly reintroducing them back into society. It is a place of a sanctuary, and it is attached to Kozlo's den, and you do more often than not have representatives of Lena's calling hanging out around there. As for Alara, she is relatively easily accessed via House Lunesti. So, if we are returning to Maginox via the dreaming, that is very easy. I will allow you to decide which fork you'd want to take from here. Do you want to go talk to Lina first and see what you can find out about the ethereal realm? Or talk to Alara, who might be able to give you more information about the dreaming?
Grebella is gonna trust what Rain has to say about this because it is not her wheelhouse. Yeah, I'm here to hit things.
Is the dreaming like a different plane of existence?
It is. It is its own plane. However, C-Swab, you as a mere sorcerer, and with no true ties to, say, the realm of the Fae or the dreaming itself, know very little about it, but the thought and idea of something crawling around in your exposed mind while you sleep does give you shivers down your spine.
Yeah, what to say? See something like, your magic is scary and weird. My magic is in tune with the earth, bro.
Bruh. Rain, what is your preference?
Well, I think Rain deduced that the dreaming was kind of a side effect, so might actually be on the ethereal side where she's dabbling, so let's try Lina.
Okay.
Alright, very good. Then, to begin the session, we will return back to Kozlo's den. A brief jaunt into Maginox to get any supplies that you might need for your trip down into the abyss, and to just see if the bar is still standing. One moment, please. Gotta put your tokens on the map here. All right. 1 second. Oh yes, I do need to bring up your ethereal Kozlo's den here. 1 second.
It's just like Kozlo's Den, but ghostly.
But spooky. Alright, Kozlo's den, 1 second. Rain on the board and Wangdoodle on the board. Grebella, Kozlo, and Sea Swab. Alright. After, well, if you would like to bid Almaseth adieu or not, you returned, back to the dreaming. And from there, can escape to the front of the Audacity, which is currently parked in Maginox, a relatively quick trip back home. And thankfully you didn't have to spend another minute with that insufferable captain. Returning to Kozlo's den, it's a good idea to seek out one that might be knowledgeable in the ethereal realm for answers. Especially one with the knowledge that Lina has about split and severed souls, these lost souls, or what we call reborn, who are searching for a new meaning in unlife. We return to Kozlo's den, and now a hopping hub of activity, reinvigorated by the procession of Queen Rain and King Eris Lunesti. Kozlo's den is raking in a ton of money and quickly becoming one of the hottest spots of Maginox. 1 moment, please.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
A long trip overseas, but a quick trip back, and it is good to be back in Maginox. As you get supplies from the vendors outside, you dip back into Kozlo's den to see how it's doing, and to find one of Lina's emissaries that you've seen hanging around the bar before. One named Eleanor Orasite. One of Lina's top generals, and one who, I shouldn't say hunted, but looked for any reborn that might be roaming about Maginox in an unsafe manner, and then ushering them back into the ethereal realm, where they would receive training about how to acclimate to this new second chance on life. Sunny greets you with a big smile and a hearty wave. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi, Sunny.
Oh, it's really good to see you.
She squeezes him a little to her.
A large minotaur stands as bodyguard in front of Kozlo's den. And judging by the big smile on his face, well, he's happy to see you. And he hugs Grebella back tightly. Oh, gosh, Grebella, you're so strong.
Yeah.
Icy Swamp, Marine, Oslo.
Honey. So, see, so I was gonna give him like a friendly like a pseudo salute, you know, where you kind of just it's not like an official salute, it's just sort of a friendly walk by.
He gives you a friendly, ham-fisted wave back. Oh, hey, boss. He looks at Kozlo.
Hey, how you doing, Sonny?
Oh, everything's so busy. He actually now yawns and looks a little sleepy. I could barely get a break. People have been coming and going. I had to break up a couple fights here and there, but he shrugs. All in a day's work.
Yeah.
But go on in. I wouldn't be surprised if you can't find a chair, though. He laughs.
No.
Sounds great.
You're welcome back, boss.
I'm so excited for all my tax revenue.
Sorry, I'm currently blind.
Oh, you're blind?
Yes.
You can't see the scene?
I can see the scene. The scene has told me I don't own any tokens.
Oh no.
I'll delete you and
Nice.
put you back on the scene. 1 second.
Goodbye, friend.
Okay, can you see Sunny?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's better.
Hey,
Oh, boy.
Wangdoodle!
Oh, what a fun trip to the point that was. How you doing, Sonny? It's open spot at the bar, right?
Oh, your goggles are a little dirty.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it gets a little messy in the workshop. but better to have these and still be able to see, right? Definitely didn't walk in here with the goggles still on. Good to see you.
Inside, as promised, is a buzz with activity. And it looks like even Leon has taken to waiting tables as he balances a mighty stack of plates in his hands as he's quickly bussing tables and looking busy, almost running over Kozlo as he tries to get back to the kitchen. Oh, hey, Kozlo! He, looks around his giant stack of dishes that he's holding in two hands. Hey, welcome back. It's, gotten a lot busier since you've been gone.
Well, we need to hire more people.
Just taking these dishes back to the kitchen. Turns out whoever you hired to train some of the guys in the back did a pretty good job. And now, well, the food's just as good as the drink.
Grebella will go to pat Grumpus on the head and decide to pat him on the shoulder instead.
He gives you a respectful nod. Hey, Grebella. How you been?
You know, here and there, blowing up fish people who were assholes.
Coming in here and I say, ma'am, you do smell a bit like the open ocean.
Yeah, it took a not exactly vacation. You know how it is.
I do. But
Man, this place smells so good. Do we need to hire more people?
he shakes his head. Well, if I can get any of the gang members to stick around and actually be useful, so half of them break half the plates we got, and the other one can't remember orders for shit. So, it's a toss-up, but we're managing with what we've got. Leon's doing a great job bussing tables, and you've got good old Sonny watching the front. I'm manning the bar here, and, well, we got a couple of our gobbo friends in the back, heating up some mighty fine food, mighty fine.
Well, maybe hire somebody that isn't the guy who's running the docks. They don't really seem like they'd be good with dishes.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to talk to Kozlo about getting some more actual real staff, but we're doing alright, if not spread a little thin. As if on cue, one of the goblins sitting at the bar across from you hefts up his pint and says, "Hey, another round, boss!" Grumpus gets back to work, quickly wiping the table and filling the goblin's stein. Don't let me bother you with all the boring work and toil around here.
I mean, it's not boring. I'm just happy to see stuff doing so good.
Well, it's all thanks to you, and Kozlo, and Sea Swab, and, well, everybody that's contributed to the den.
Grumpus, that's not true. Rescuing you was one of the best things we ever did. Well, I say rescue, you were kind of gainfully employed, but by bad people.
Yeah, but now I'm even more gainfully and, honestly employed. Yeah. It's a good living.
Heck yeah. You behind the bar suits you. I know you're good at the paperwork stuff, but...
Yeah, plus I get to sample whatever you are bringing in. And let me tell you, some of that stuff you've been bringing in is mighty good. He laughs and slaps his stomach in agreement. But let me finish waiting on all these tables, Grebella. I'm sure you're not here to talk to old Grumpus.
Nah.
But it's good to see you.
I do enjoy talking to you.
Grumpus goes up to the side of the table where Rain is and gives her a slight bow, not mockingly, but not enough to make a show. My lady, is there anything I can get you today?
Oh, no, I'm just fine, thank you. We're here to meet someone, but it seems like whenever we enter this place, everybody scatters all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
funny
should.
that.
Did we send for him already?
Well, I don't know. You all said that you had a connection with Lina here, so that's why we came here.
We do technically have the like ghost version of the bar.
You
that we
do,
haven't been to in a million years.
but you also know that one of the spectral women sitting in the corner of the southeast corner of the bar, Eleanor Oracite, is a part of Lina's coterie and is responsible for bringing errant spirits back to the ethereal realm for training and reintegration. If anyone would know how to get a hold of Lina, it would be her.
All the undead ladies in Maginox put
Gorgeous.
like the Hollywood tape to extensive use.
Hey, how's it going?
She looks up as Kozlo approaches and gives him a soft smile. Kozlo, hello. How can I help you today?
We were hoping to get an opportunity to have a little chat with Lina about a couple things. If you got some way of sending her a message or seeing if she's available.
Absolutely. I can send for her right away. May I ask what it's concerning?
Kozlo like glances back over at the others, like he still doesn't fully understand exactly what they're doing, but is trying his best.
Something about Grebella's head or something like that?
She looks over at Grebella. Oh, is there anything wrong with Grebella?
I mean, besides the normal, can we go talk to you in the back, the VIP lounge?
Of course. Here, let me meet you back there in a moment. I'll have another send for Lina, so you don't have to tell us twice. We'll meet you in the back.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I just don't like talking about my weird stuff out here. I've talked about enough weird stuff out here.
Poor Grebella.
You see Eleanor shimmer and disappear as she enters the ethereal realm from the physical.
I've forgotten about the giant barrel of rum we'd brought for the last time we had a conversation in here.
The one
Good. Time to pick up where I left off.
Oh, God.
You sure that's not freaking empty?
Kozlo like, sloshes it around a little bit.
It's about there's a fourth of that cask left.
You gotta check, make sure it's not condensation. You gotta make sure it's the real stuff.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, like, look, you took the time to distill it, you took the time to age it. You don't want to over oxidize this kind of stuff.
That is not the thing I clicked on. my music. I was like,
When
that
the
is
DM
not
randomly
the track.
changes tracks.
The door swings shut, and no one had touched it. Spooky. Two figures shimmer into view from the ethereal. One, Eleanor Oracite, and the other, Lina Umbralis. The head of House Umbralis, and leader to the ghost spirits and reborn of Maginox. Lina greets you with a smile. Eleanor had sent for me. It seemed important. I brought her along with, just in case it involved rounding up errant spirits. As you may
Jesus,
remember,
that was quick.
as you may remember, Eleanor is here to help facilitate any, lost souls from the physical back into the ethereal until they are ready to become full-fledged citizens of Maginox. Now, please, tell me what's on your mind.
Kozlo will like look over to Grebella and Rain.
Well, this is your story, Grebella. I'm happy to impart it if you would like, but
You're muted if you're trying to talk, Cherry.
Yeah, sorry, my throat is freaking dry today. I don't know why.
Yeah, I had a dream with this fish lady and she tried to hook me, but she's bad. Maybe you should explain it.
Okay. Well, it seems like Grebella had a dream, which is odd for starters.
Indeed.
But there was this woman, the Nerys, the Depth's mother, some minion of Narcissa.
You can all make me an insight check, by the way. As you mentioned Neresa's name to Lina.
He's a ghost.
For Seaswab, Rain, and Wangdoodle, there's an immediate lip curl of disgust and distaste, but it also tells you that she knows that name immediately, but she keeps it very subtle. The news is obviously distressing to the spirit.
Same girl. Same.
Well, it would appear that she is using some kind of fish hook to dip into an extraplanar space to procure soul fragments, as it were, such that the effects of which are bleeding even into the dreaming. Thus, Grebella's dream of having some silvery fragment fished straight out of her head.
Yeah, apparently it's some sort of, trying to get a hold of a piece of me and put together a bunch of pieces of everything. It sounds terrible.
Tell me, you speak of Nerys Flowborn, correct? The once disciple of Narcissa Soulblight.
Yes, she's refers to herself as the Depth's Mother now, and was the main recipient of a lot of the, flesh trading that came out of Maginox over the last few years. And she got a little frisky and decided she wanted a little bit more, even though that trade had been stopped.
And, we have an opportunity to get rid of one of her Narcissus phylacteras.
Narcissus what?
A phylacteri! A phylacteru!
A Phil Collins!
Yeah!
And
you know, a piece of her that she put into a bunch of different things.
Yes.
So if she dies, she has a backup. A phylacteru. Phylactery. Phylactery!
Yeah, phalanx. What she said.
Where is Nerys holed up now?
Under Rascal's Reef, causing a lot of bullshit.
Place
Or
called
nearby.
the Abyss.
Yeah. That's
Not
where
like
she-
directly under it, though. We learned that it was more on the Arctis side of things.
Yeah, but that's where she's been, controlling goblins and making deals. And...
They don't put
she's
our handy
fucking
map
with my
out.
family a whole lot.
Yeah,
my mom's
she...
down there.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Kozlo. What I'm about to say is not going to bring you any comfort. As you know, and as I had mentioned, Nerisse was a disciple of the lich Narcissa Soulblight, and managed to escape punishment unlike her mentor, who, as you are fully aware, has had a large portion of her essence captured inside that very mirror that you have. However, Narcissa, being the clever lich that she is, managed to split parts of her soul into multiple fragments, putting portions of them into phylacteries and leaving them with her disciples. For one, Nerisse was considered Narcissa's most powerful and gifted disciple, and had an affinity for soulcraft. She, before you now know her as the Depth Mother, was called a soul stitcher, and went far out of her way in order to capture errant spirits that had returned to Arctis, for whatever reason that may be. And these lost souls, they were damaged, frayed, broken, in pieces, like picking up an urn that had shattered on the floor, but only portions of them that she wanted. And with other portions of souls, other cracked urns, she would fuse these together into abominations of her own making, and find something called a husk, or a body without a soul, in order to infuse this new creation in, creating a semblance of life, a soul broken, fused together by foul magics, and placed in a body that was no longer its own. A soul always yearns for a body, but the one that it was meant to have as it has returned to Arctis, and a soul without its proper body is confused and often goes mad. You can only imagine the trauma that would occur when multiple memories, fragments of each, are brought back together violently in a body that is strange to all of them. And as these souls searched for meaning and longing, Nerisse and Narcissa attempted to give them meaning and purpose, namely in fighting for their endless wars, searching out other souls, whether they might be intact or not, in order to continue their experiments. But it seems like, from what you've told me, Nerisse not only has found a place where she can continue her experiments in peace, but her influence has grown. Surely she is attempting to free Narcissa.
Well, that sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
We should probably go kill her or something. But how do we do that without, making shit worse?
I do not know. But one thing I do know is that there has been, at least in my time, in and around the area of Maginox, always a very large influx of lost and broken souls coming from... She looks at this map. In fact, an area very close to here. Souls coming out of the ocean, but not souls of tritons or merfolk, sea elves. Pieces of souls, all searching for a new reason to be here. Confused, just like Grebella, and some still lacking bodies, and some having bodies that they did not have when they died. Much like you, she points at Grebella. Or gesture, I shouldn't say points, it gestures at Grebella politely. You did return to your... in your case, Grebella, you happened to return to the body that you had left this world with, but your soul is still fractured and incomplete. Which is why some of your memories may still be missing, or hazy. You had told me once that Narcissa had mentioned something about your mother. And it, putting those pieces potentially together, Nerys may also know, possibly, where the other fragments of your memories and soul may be.
That could be good, I suppose. I mean, I know liches are out to lie and stuff, but it felt really right when she told me that she had my mom's soul and was trying to keep her safe from, the cycle. Not that I necessarily agree with that whole thing, but
She nods. At least in Nerys's perverted point of view, the soul, at least the ones that are broken and fractured, do not deserve to be a part of the cycle, and only complete memories do. And souls that are stitched together or are made whole again should be given a new purpose. I agree it is highly distasteful, but what makes me curious is the fact that you have had a vision or a dream regarding this.
Yeah. And probably with all the stuff that I am now, I'm a pretty tasty treat, I guess.
For her, it would be very easy for her to take advantage of your soul rent status and stitch a more willing piece upon you in order to convert you to her will. Be very careful around the soul stitcher, Grebella.
Is there anything I could do to protect myself from this stuff, or is it just stay away from the worst part, which I'm probably needed for, if we're honest?
She frowns and shakes her head. Unfortunately, to her it is like a gaping wound, and she is the buzzing fly waiting to land.
I wouldn't worry about that too much, Grebella. Just keep Eco close to you.
Yeah.
She'll pat her new little friend.
It is much harder to get a fully complete and intact soul to bend to your will. It is much easier to take a fragmented one and improve on it, as she would say. And then you would be entirely bent to her will.
There's no way for me to, reach out and get my own stuff?
Unless you can find the remaining pieces, the ones missing. But that also may, she frowns, fulfill your purpose.
Yeah, that's fair. Ugh, gosh, I hate all this. It's complicated. It hurts my head.
Grebella, may I ask, if Nerys happened to have or know of the location of your shattered soul, would you take it back? Would you wish to become complete again and risk yourself returning into the cycle?
That means I get to finish this life, at least, though, right? Or do I, automatically go away.
Lina shakes her head sadly. If everyone's purpose that is brought back to Arctis is different, I cannot say if your purpose will be fully completed by you finding your missing memories, but it is a risk, and it may, the reuniting of your soul and intact body may finally put you to rest.
Could I collect my memories or a piece of me to use when I'm ready? Sorry, these questions are probably weird.
No, these are entirely valid questions. Yes, if you do find your fragmented soul and manage to encapsulate it or bring it back somehow, it could be preserved for a time. But mind you, this takes a significant amount of energy, and plus a soul always yearns, like a magnet, to be complete. If you find it, you will always feel the urge to reunite it, reunite your memories, whatever the consequences may be.
I just have I promised Queen Rain here to help her with something pretty important. And I go for it now, and I don't just want to leave.
It is unfortunately not up to me or you. I can tell you what I've seen before. Souls that have been fragmented and rejoined do not wish to continue on the material plane and are content to release themselves back to the cycle for their eternal rest. Lina frowns. But it is the influx of these fractured souls from this area, from the abyss, that concerns me greatly. It is possible that Nerys may have found a rift. She looks over at Rain. You, my queen, may be familiar with these, as I believe you had discovered one within the Moon Sage's sanctum. A rift between the planes, a weakening. It can be caused by many different factors, but a rift between the planes cannot be ignored. I am worried.
Is her voice crackling for other people, or is it just me?
It was a little
fine for
crackly
me.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye for
I might
yourself.
leave and come back.
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay.
We found a few of these rifts, actually. They do have a tendency to be sat upon by seedy individuals, unfortunately.
It is possible that Nerys has finally found an endless font of souls to fish out of this rift, and forgive my pun.
I don't think you need to beg forgiveness for that pun. She literally uses a hook, so it does seem a little branded.
She frowns. In that case, if you can find this rift, if there is a tear between the material plane and the ethereal, it must be mended, and we can stop this flow of soul-torn spirits from entering this plane. And it seems like Nerys is fishing them out, luring them out with whatever hook she may have, dipping it into this rift, and pulling them out, just like using them as bait. Whatever nefarious purpose the Soul Stitcher may have. But one thing is certain. We cannot let Nerys gain a hold of Narcissa's skull. To deal with both Nerys and Narcissa would cause a massive calamity to befall upon Maginox.
Well, agree to disagree. They are just both idiot liches, apparently, so they can't be that bad.
Lina chuckles.
That said, I don't think we need to worry about her getting her hands on Narcissa's skull. As I understand it, it is far beyond even our reach now, yes?
Yeah,
Around.
it's in a whole other plane.
I believe
there you go.
technically the elemental plane of fire currently.
Yeah.
Oh, Belina's eyebrows shoot up, but she nods. I suppose that could be further from Nerys's grasp than even here on the material. And although not destroyed, it would certainly put a kink in her plans. Nerys has always been the favored of Narcissa's disciples, and it would not surprise me if she even turned upon her fellow students in Narcissa's absence.
Are you suggesting that she may be the only one left? Or perhaps the sole proprietor of Narcissa's phylacteries at this point?
Lina nods. I have not heard hide nor hair of the other liches that once studied under Narcissa. It is only Nerys that I am currently aware of.
Well, since liches are not gifted with an overabundance of brains, that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. But perhaps this is a kill two idiot wizards, one stone type of situation?
Perhaps. I would not put it past Nerys to cannibalize her fellow disciples in order to gain additional power. And if she does sit upon a rift, it must be closed in order to prevent more violent and frightened souls from escaping into the material plane. Eleanor, next to Lina, nods in agreement.
And how would you propose sealing one of these rifts?
Rain, you hear a quiet voice in your head from a familiar voice. It's Echo. It's your Manaflow sword.
Oh.
In fact, I could possibly answer that for you.
Do we have to sacrifice our souls and become swords, Pecco? Oh, here, everyone. I'm just going to put her on speakerphone. Rain pulls out her sword. Do I still have her as a companion?
No. No? Do you not?
I don't think so. No, I don't see her anywhere.
Yeah, she's right here. Boop.
Oh. I was looking for a sword for some reason, but her icon here is different. Okay.
Rain,
okay, Pecco, you're on speakerphone.
The shimmering upper body of Pecco Manaflow shimmers out of the sword, and she gives Lina a nod, and both they know each other. She gives her a nod of recognition. In fact, I can answer that. And Lina holds up a hand. Say no more. I know of Pecco's work, but that is a sacrifice that I cannot ask any soul to make. The living weapons, spirits that have bound themselves to blades and generally serve a master, also have singular goals in mind, and usually those that wield the bound blades go searching for these rifts, plunging the blades into the deep cuts and sealing them with the power of their own souls. And Pecco nods in agreement.
Yeah, but Pecco's soul's already spoken for presently, sealing a rift to keep Vanix at bay, yes?
That is correct. And at least until the changelings of Auralia finish closing up the rift, I will be unfortunately spoken for. But this is the duty of the Bound Blades.
Duty.
Kozlo, please.
Well, Peko, we did find another sword in Styx's Manor when we found you. It was more dormant, as I recall, but we do still technically have that sword floating around. Probably on the Audacity. What do you think they're up to? Friend of yours?
That depends. You see, the Bound Blades, we work willingly, and generally choose someone who travels the world, potentially seeking out these rifts so we can fulfill this purpose of preventing demons and other extraplanar creatures from traveling these rifts and entering the material plane. There are other spirits that are bound to swords that are not as altruistic and are merely power sources to be utilized as weapons. But unfortunately, this is something that has to be done willingly, and I would not ask you to try and convince something that has been bound to a sword for who knows how long to do something that they do not wish to do.
Unless that's already their bag anyway.
She nods.
Which, frankly, nobody I know has actually tried to communicate with that particular sword, so we kind of have no idea.
It's true. You could ask. Eleanor and Lina looks like they're conversing while you're speaking with Manaflow.
Well, I only know one person here who probably would have a good conversation with a big fuck-off sword. Rain kind of glances over at Grebella.
Yeah.
But, any other alternatives in case that does not pan out?
Eleanor takes a step forward. And she gestures at herself. I have protected Maginox from foul and violent spirits for many a year. And if I can be of any help to seal this rift, to prevent things from coming across that do not be here, or should not be here, I wish to be a bound blade. You can take me to the rift that potentially Nerys may be sitting near. Plunge me into the rift, and I will protect it with my very essence. And hopefully an influx of souls that might be coming to Maginox will end. Lina looks sad, but allows Eleanor to speak. She seems to understand the sacrifice that she is willing to make. Peko frowns as she too understands that essentially gluing yourself into a rift until it is healed is no small feat, and she can potentially go mad, be alone at the bottom of the ocean for how long until the rift is sealed. But Eleanor understands these spirits should have peace and not be fished up by this soul-stitching lich.
Well, I appreciate your offer and thank you for your service, Eleanor.
Is the least I can do. I love Maginox and what it stands for. From everything from this delightful little pub that you've built, that I've watched grow and flourish into the city that you are now queen of, Rain. I wish to help Grebella find the fragments of her shattered soul and bring her peace as a reborn. And I hope to bring safety to the seas beyond Arctis that span in between the continents of Arctis and Xavia, and hopefully save the people of Coranthia from the clutches of this lich. It is not a sacrifice. It is my duty. All I would require from you is a weapon of sufficient power in order to store my essence. I will accompany you on your journey, and when you find this rift, plunge the weapon into it, and I shall merge my essence into its own, and create something akin to a safety net, preventing other things from crossing. A bandage, as you will. If I can protect Maginox, I'll do it.
Very well. Before we can find something appropriate. Rain looks around. Certainly we can find something appropriate, right, guys?
Yeah.
I'm not the one with the sack of endless weapons, the unlimited blade works, if you will. I have
Kozlo
something
starts.
that might be able to work, but
Should I plop something down? Is that what we're looking for?
She will require a +2 weapon or higher in order to
What's this?
possess it. That would not be sufficient enough.
Okay. Then I
Kozlo
don't
starts to look through his bag, but just
think I have
pulling
anything.
out various bombs.
It has to be powerful enough to hold my essence, and also release it when the time comes. Does anybody
Might have
have
to go looking for it then.
Does anybody have a +2 weapon or higher?
I
yep.
just have a bunch of name stuff, so
Rain pulls out her ancestral sword and puts it on the table.
Eleanor
And
looks at
this-
it. She hovers her hand over it for a moment, feeling out its magical essence. This should be sufficient. Unlike Peko, I have not mastered this art, and I will go relatively dormant, at least until the time comes to unleash me into the rift. If it is what you wish, I will possess this weapon, and no longer be of the ethereal or the material plane, but something in between.
Rain glances at Grebella. Unless you have an alternative you would like to propose, Grebella?
I mean, I could go buy something, but I don't have anything. So, if this is something you don't want to mess with, I could try to figure something out.
Above board, Christina.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that it also becomes like a sentient weapon, like Manaflow?
She will not. Eleanor is Peko essentially like trained for this, so Peko can also control the sword and be aware of her surroundings. Eleanor is not good at this. Eleanor, you would just shunt that sword into the rift once you find it.
Okay, so this is a lose it, not a use it. Okay.
Correct. She would not be half as powerful as Peko is, at least in the weapon form. The bound blades are essentially like very trained to do this. They're like their own faction.
Well, before we have you sacrificing your, well, admittedly immaterial form, I would like to investigate the sword that we do already have, in the event that it is already usable. It's a long shot, but I mean, we have a little bit of time, yes? Why not?
Of course. But keep in mind that some of the magic that the House Styx and even House Talus have been doing were more the forcing of souls into weapons and allowing these mad weapons to turn on their owners when the opportunity struck.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with that. In fact, that's kind of what had afflicted Manaflow. This sword, however, seemed resilient to that, or was resisting, when we did find it. So, presumably, if there's anything left in there, it wasn't on their side. But again, it's a long shot. There might not be anything left.
Very well. If you wish to converse with this other bound blade and see what its mental status may be, you may. But this can be my purpose, my final act, in order to save not just this city, but this region from the Lich's wrath.
And your offer and sacrifice has not gone unnoticed, Eleanor. It's very final. If there's any alternative, I'd like to look at that first.
By all means. She takes a step back next to Lina, who looks at Eleanor with sadness.
Well, if we want to go try to have a conversation with that sword, I believe it is sealed up in the Audacity still.
Yeah, all right.
It's all very
What?
heavy.
Yeah, a lot to think about there.
Lina,
Hello,
Eleanor,
Google.
they converse briefly about, but what about the errant souls that have already escaped the abyss and may need guidance within Maginox? And they try and work out who exactly will shepherd these souls back to the ethereal if Eleanor decides to make this sacrifice.
Working out transition plans. Yep, get it.
You guys don't have like another person lined up?
Not one I would trust with guarding a dangerous rift, and not one with enough training, like Eleanor does, that we can trust to keep it safe and not splitting asunder, possibly creating an even larger rift. I trust Eleanor's abilities and her knowledge, and I believe she has the capability. We should see if this other bound blade is truly a bound blade, or merely a soul forced into servitude. And in that case, if that sword wishes for freedom, you can bring it to me, and we can begin the healing process.
All right, well, I best go find it.
All right.
I don't know, like, Rain can just go back to the Audacity, I guess, real quick and just, like, grab it and bring it back here if everybody wants to hang out and drink.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If nobody wants to leave the bar, Rain can absolutely go do that and go grab it.
So
Yeah.
I did go back and watch the historical tapes, Christina. So this is the long sword that was down at the bottom of the well.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a soul in it, but it is dormant.
Yeah. But Manaflow was the one that was specifically in the Coffin of Blood, I believe.
Right.
So, yeah.
We find so many weapons in such convenient places.
Rain, do you have it in your inventory?
It was never an item that we actually turned into an item in the game. It only ever existed in the Discord treasure channel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I also went back because I was like, what the fuck ever did happen to that sword like a couple weeks ago? And I went back and looked where we actually started turning all of the episode where we put all the things in the Audacity, and it was not there either. So it was just one of those things that never got transitioned.
Okay.
We're asking for a deep cut here too. Do you even remember what
it's
the
a
fuck that
lot? I
sword
do.
was?
I do. That was a long time ago, by the way.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Because we wanted Bonsai to use it, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm cool with the creepy whip thing."
Rain, you return to the Audacity quickly in order to find this the longsword that you found within the well. Knowing that it has a spirit attached to it, perhaps forcefully, knowing House Styx and House Talus, as they were trying to recreate these dancing weapons for themselves, but binding spirits more out of servitude than out of any sort of generosity. You rifle through the Audacity's stash and find this dormant longsword. And as you detect the faint hum of magic within it, the soul still lies dormant. But surely Lina and Eleanor could rouse it from its slumber. With sword in hand, you return to Kozlo's den, as the rest of your friends are finishing off the barrel of rum, quietly amongst themselves. Rain, you return with longsword in hand.
Yeah, we'll do this real quick. Click, click. There we go. Okay, I'm back, guys.
Yay!
I want to imagine, since we've drank the rest of this in this entire time, this is now Rain doing the like Donald Glover walk into the room holding the thing and everything's on fire.
Honestly, like doing the like quick transition is the only way that was not the case. And if you actually RP'd this out, you guys would have trashed the place.
Probably.
Been wasted.
Oh, welcome back, your royal highness.
Ignore him, please.
Harness.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why you're apologizing for Kozlo, Grebella.
I'm used to it.
It's a strange thing to be used to. Anyway.
I'm a problem.
Here, Rain. Take the tortured blade and place it upon the table.
Can we maybe get the rum off the table? This feels a little, I don't know, it feels like there should be some decorum.
Eleanor floats the barrel off to the
So I was
side.
gonna be like, it is decorative, I agree.
I am so sorry.
Rain will pull out the well sword.
The well sword.
That's all I know it is.
Lina places her hands over the length of the sword, running it down the length of the blade. Her eyes close as she senses for the dormant soul. Yes, something has been trapped within this sword. The soul is tumultuous, tortured, violent, sharded, broken. It's been put here against its will. It has gone dormant, sleeping, to prevent its own maddened thoughts from consuming it. A sword used for violence, for murder, slaking its bloodthirst. She opens her eyes and looks back up at Rain.
Well, that sounds terrible. In the back of Rain's mind, like, that's kind of cool.
What else do you use a sword for?
Yeah, but typically I feel like most swords are used for violence, but like I wasn't going to debate that point, Kozlo.
The Styx family had used a twisted form of soulcraft to bind souls into blades, and when sold to an unwitting owner, the blade would turn on its owner, killing, and then returning back to House Styx. A clever murder, without witnesses, without proof. This sword was one of these, used to turn against its master, sold to unwitting fools who wished for dancing weapons to aid them in battle. Souls used like puppets and bent to their whim. This soul has long gone mad. The dancing weapon, a soul contained within this dancing weapon, if awoken, would immediately turn on everyone in this room in a haze of frenzied bloodshed.
So I was gonna just back up a bit.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's like a shitload of these weapons out there, just FYI, but that's like for a future adventuring party to deal with. Rain informs the rest of everybody.
I feel so much better.
And it just sounds like a really convoluted way to manufacture mimics. If you
This
don't
is
mind me saying.
Laryl's thing. I want you to be aware of, Wangdoodle. Now you know why I'm snippy with her.
Well, I was kind of wondering because she didn't look too bad. I was just like, all right, so where's the red flag? I now understand. There's the red flag.
Mm-hmm.
This power, most assuredly, was taught to Laryl by demons, devils, and other things that have sway over the soul, whether it is a bargain or merely forced because the soul is weakened and weakened and torn asunder. I presume it is mostly the latter. Only the most powerful demons can imbibe entire souls into magical weapons, forever fusing them into servitude.
So what you're saying is the sword is not what we're looking for.
It is not.
Well,
And in
maybe
fact, if you wish
you
to
can
leave
take
it
it
with
away.
me, perhaps I can at least provide it some relief from its tortured existence.
That sounds marvelous.
It feels like
So-
you like adopt a dog, and they're like,
So
this
we're
dog
still
is
down a
too
weapon,
bad,
is
so you
what
gotta
I'm
like leave it
hearing.
be trained.
So,
She
yes.
motions for the long sword and touches it briefly and sends it back into the ethereal.
Let me go see what I can find outside.
It's fine, Grebella. We
No,
have
you
a
guys,
sword
you guys
here.
have a sword.
Oh, okay. I got confused.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, I do. I just get easily confused.
Well then, Rain. I'm sorry the blade that you found within the Styx Manor will not suit your purposes, and that Eleanor must be your final choice.
I really just wanted to go kill some fucking liches and be done with this and not have to cast Maginox more good people.
Eleanor lifts her hand. Us spirits are only here for a limited time by the grace of purpose. And I can imagine no greater purpose than securing the future of Maginox from a dangerous lich. It is a sacrifice I am gladly willing to make, to keep this place, Kozlo's den, and all of the people of Maginox safe.
I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, but it doesn't. You are still my responsibility, as is everyone else in Maginox.
Then
This is not something I looked too lightly.
Then do not let my sacrifice be in vain. Find and close this ethereal rift, and many, many more souls will be saved by your hand. And not just yours, Rain. All of yours. Kozlo, Sea-Swap, Wangdoodle, Grebella. You will save more lives from returning with confusion and violence in their hearts. Together, we will preserve the sanctity of the ethereal realm and allow these tortured souls to no longer be manipulated by the Soul Stitcher, Nerys
That would be
Flowborn.
nice.
This is not at all how I expected this conversation was gonna go.
Hey, Kozlo, I've just given up on trying to anticipate at this point. You know, we're just gonna go with it.
Kozlo just slumps back in the chair, like he's just giving up on understanding anything at this point.
You're one of the artificers. You're supposed to understand.
That's not how it works. I reach my hand into a bag. I pull out a bomb.
Wangdoodle
is
shares
this-
a similar face of unease, as he's not entirely sure how he plays into the whole protection thing, as he's really only brought destructive forces, and that's pretty much it.
He's
Kozlo, it
probably
has
incredibly
been...
lost with the ethereal shit.
Yeah, you guys aren't, you guys have your souls. You are living beings. Grebella is the closest to all of this. Grebella does not
I've
have all
got
of her memories
problems.
because her soul is fractured. Kozlo,
Well, you wouldn't know
Eleanor
by
turns
looking
to
at
you. It has been
Oh God.
a pleasure protecting both Kozlo's den in the physical realm and in the ethereal. I will miss this place dearly. Promise me you'll take good care of it, my friend.
Now you're making me sad.
This is all sad.
We all
Right, but
sacrifice.
before I was just confused. Now I'm confused and sad.
Welcome to my life.
You all have
Starbucks,
made.
Nope.
You all have made so many sacrifices. You have risked your lives and limbs and your very souls to protect what you hold dear. Let me do the same. And Grebella, I hope and I pray that you find your missing piece and regain your memories, and you take back any memories of your mother that Narcissa may be holding in her icy grip.
Yeah, I'm just not ready to be finished yet, so I'll figure it out.
We never are. Sometimes our lives are taken from us too soon. But our
Probably
purpose
kinda-
is never done.
Grebella kind of makes a face at this.
Rain, if you would be so kind to hold the sword aloft. For a moment I will use you as a conduit as I pass into the blade.
Well, all right then. Rain picks up her sword.
Eleanor steps behind you, and you feel icy, ethereal palms, like a gentle breeze, press into your shoulder blades. Are you ready?
Yep, as ready as I'm going to be.
You may feel a cold shock as I pass through your body and use your arcane magics in order to facilitate the entry into the blade.
It's better if you don't explain it, actually, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Very well. Hold your breath.
Oh, okay.
And as she says that, she presses her hands into your chest, and it feels like two icy palms grasping around your heart, and like a flush of arcane energy like you've never felt before, as for a brief moment in time, two souls are crammed into one vessel, and you can understand for a moment this rush of power that starts flowing through your veins. It's like you have twice as much arcane energy, twice as much power, twice as much to everything at your fingertips. Your mind begins to try to expand to accommodate the two memories that briefly touch each other, but only in passing. And even for a moment, there might be a dark side that wants Eleanor to stay, to feed you with power. And perhaps now you can understand why liches desires souls so badly. The rush of power is chilling and exhilarating, like diving into a Nordic ice bath. You can feel the chill run down your arms as she uses your arcane magic to facilitate the transfer. And the coldness begins to leave, the power drains from you. The sword begins to glow an icy blue. And soon, Eleanor's form disappears. And her shimmering outline, the one that vaguely clung to the material plane, now can be seen across the sword that lies in front of you.
Rain looks down at the sword with a frown.
The sword lies on the table, not animated like Manaflow, merely glowing with the presence of Eleanor within it. She will not animate or dance for you, as she requires all of her power in order to potentially seal the rift Nerys may be sitting upon. But for now, it is done. For a moment, Rain, you felt like all of your spell slots had doubled, perhaps even tripled, with the power of multiple souls flowing through you. The rush is gone, leaving you with a strange chill moving through your body. Part possession, part a transference of power. Manaflow quickly slips back into your scabbard, and you can sense a deep sorrow from your bound blade. She does not enjoy this, and she understands the sacrifice Eleanor is willing to make.
Alright, let's go kill a fucking lich.
Finally, the violence part!
Maybe, let's make it fucking too and make this worth it.
Please, Lina says, be careful. Who knows how deep that rift cuts, and how much access Nerys may have into the ethereal plane. If she has a bevy of lost souls at her beck and call, go prepared.
Don't worry, Lina. This bitch was already due a comeuppance. this whole affair just made it that much worse for her, and she doesn't even know it yet.
And let this be the last line of defense between us and the destruction of Narcissa's soul blight. If Nerys truly is the last of Narcissa's disciples, then let her reign end.
God, who could have ever foreseen that just ignoring a lich for like 60 sessions was gonna be a problem?
Yeah,
What are you talking about, ignoring a lich?
Let her worry about it.
I thought liches were just shit wizards.
Until
They
then,
are.
I will look over Kozlo's den. If you need of me, just ask. Lina shimmers and disappears.
Kozlo like has his hand up like he was about to say something, but as she disappears, just sort of like puts his hand like he was actually going to scratch his head instead, just like awkwardly.
And Seaswab liches are shit wizards. We're literally in all of this nonsense because a bunch of fucking idiots who couldn't figure out how to properly be arcane spellcasters decided they wanted to do this.
What do you call shit magic? What kind of
Lich.
mancy is that? Fika-mancy?
oh my god.
A fecal mancer now is the only thing that I can think of.
Bye, guys.
Somehow
Bye,
it's
Sonny.
even a
If you
step
see
below.
any shit wizards, kill them.
Oh?
Don't worry about it.
Poop is funny.
Oh no, that is
No, he didn't laugh at the poop joke.
He
last
didn't
time.
laugh at the poop joke. Now it's funny.
It just took him that long to get it.
Oh, it's funny again.
Where do you all go from here? The Audacity?
Do we need to pick up any supplies?
I think I'm still pretty like we mostly just ended up buying. We just bought a bunch of stuff at
That's true.
other place.
Yeah.
I have the potions of supreme healing. I have a bunch of freaking flowers that do stuff. I should probably
Did we
give
get
all
the,
of this
Did we
to.
get the Borean shard for like the spiders or the scorpions or whatever?
Yeah, did you guys want to take any of the stuff from your pyramid?
I do have the Borean shard for that. Let me trade with Winged real quick.
You could bring
I
your whole
have-
fucking army to keep the ship safe. Look at you.
I have a Corinthian coma carrot.
And you also still have your Narcissus skull replica.
Which is really disappointing, to be completely honest. You didn't get to put that to good use.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, insulting the DM, a bold strategy.
Nah, the second we see Nerys, we're just killing that bitch. Like,
It's a bold strategy, Kyle. Let's see if it pays off.
Hold on, I have to pay attention to how many of each of these I have.
I have a bunch of shit in my bags too that like I was gonna like try and like trade and barter with, but this isn't the time for that. I don't think so.
Just gonna hang on to one of them. And then
Look, all I'm saying is that the magically disinclined are kind of, bread and butter for me trying to make a buck.
I wanted to attune to the staff. Do I need to do anything special for that? I always forget how attunement works.
It usually
you-
will say on the weapon, but let me look at.
I think that should be everything we can do.
It says requires attunement by a
perfect.
druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard.
Then Rain would do it for you after a long rest.
Yeah, I bought all of these for Kozlo's sister.
I mean, isn't Seaswab's a sorcerer, right? Sorcerer was on the
Oh,
list.
yeah.
Oh, Sorcerer's on that list? Yeah, you can tune it yourself.
Yeah, but what
Thanks
I-
for reminding me. I
I
still
think
gotta
it
build
just
that
takes
skill.
it's something you do after a long rest.
Yep, it's just it's just long
Is-
rest.
Is the trade working?
There's a short rest.
Or... Hold on.
I have accepted the trade.
Okay. Do you have 5 Alathorn, 4 Posons?
4 Poison's Chain, 14 Mountain Garlic, and 5 Salamander
Let's
Orchids. Somebody close the
yes.
window.
I didn't.
I closed the window. It said the trade was completed.
Who has what in their inventory? Just want to be sure.
I should have
That's a good
2
question.
flowers left. No, I have all of them. So
Okay, but just try it. You try it
direct
again.
Trades worked when we first switched over to like the new stuff.
You can try it one more time, or you could drop it on the ground.
Not a part of your system.
I threw it on the ground.
I have a random question that maybe somebody can help me out with. It's for my staff. It says I can cast some stuff, but I can't see what those actually do. So I can see what they actually do.
Once you attune it, it should populate at the bottom of your spellbook.
That is correct.
Okay.
So
it's
you
under,
will
like, the magic items section below your highest level spell slots.
So let me look. You
Except
have. Where is your? Is it Staff of Frost?
There we go.
There we
Staff
go.
of Frost, yeah.
We did it.
I kept only one of a couple of things just for sentimental purposes, but there's a lot of cool shit in there. Oh, I did not mean to. I don't think I
And in
actually
return, I'll
consumed that.
give you some Wangdoodle credit. You know, for the shout when I'm selling stuff.
Okay. I just.
It'll-
They all sounded really cool, and she seemed real smart about it.
Oh yeah, if you come downstairs, hopefully Morris should be done building the still I definitely told him to build, and then daydream it. But once it's done, we can really make some work out of this.
No.
Oops.
Yeah.
So for C-Swab, whenever you can click on the Staff of Frost, and all of those spells that are in it, like Cone of Cold, Fog Cloud, Ice Storm, and Wall of Ice, you can also click on those too. So those
Yeah, I was
are
trying
all-
to find trying to find where they were at. I just didn't see it.
It actually looks like, let's see, requires attunement. Okay, let me edit that. Attunement required. Click attuned. Okay. Attuned. Let's see if that's on the bottom of your spell list. It is not, but if you do want to cast a spell out of it, I can bring it up and tell you what it does.
I just wanted to know what Fog Cloud did because that's the only one I didn't know what it did.
Oh, Fog Cloud? Yeah, sure. I will not consume the usage. But all of those you can just click on.
Okay.
So, Fog Cloud is a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. And makes it heavily obscured.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
All right, folks. What's the plan?
Well, I suppose, Wangdoodle, you want to show us what you've done with the ship?
Yeah, sure. Those upgrades should be done, and I'll find out if I actually told him to build a still. Yeah, let's head that way.
All right. One moment, please. You all head back to the arcane Audacity to finalize your preparations for the trip. Wangdoodle has been hard at work, making sure the power sources are diverted to where they need to be in order to make the spell that surrounds the ship persist for long enough so you do not get crushed underneath the crushing depths of the abyss. As the arcane Audacity now floats above Maginox. Wangdoodle, you have done a bang-up job making sure the power sources are diverted, but it's been causing a little bit of a backlog in excuse me, in some of the magical formations of the ship. It just might be a little unstable once you get the spell going, but it should be okay.
I mean, that's what we have Morris for.
Is literally what we have Morris for. That is actually entirely accurate. 'Cause, like, I said, we had to do the spell.
Well,
We had to do the spell. 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 We had to
He has been hard at work in the bowels of the ship, making sure that at least perhaps a red Abishai does not escape in the process. Now, you will not be able to use the disintegrate part of the cannons, but your cannons that have been augmented by the slow will pierce this barrier, allowing you to shoot out, and allowing nothing else to shoot in. And hopefully, if you are accosted while you are underneath the waves, it will hold out long enough until you get to Neresa's lair.
Okay, so no promises on anything. Also, just gonna have to check. The cannons are stuck in broadside formation, so we can't do anything about that. And minor testing to make sure that the new lubrication doesn't destroy the cannons. Easy peasy.
Also, for C-Swab, I know you can't see anything. You don't have dark vision anymore because you don't have Azrael.
No! I'm blind!
So the reason why you cannot see is because you don't have dark vision and you're on a dark ship.
Esther, can we turn the lights on, please? We've asked for light install on the deck numerous times.
That might have been one of the circuits that was cut.
It's cut. Nope, all power has gone to this bubble. No disintegrate ray. A couple cannons are working only because of the slow. And your ship is moving at 3/4 speed. It's taken a lot to get this working, and all you need to do now is plug in the spell.
Right.
Raiden technically summons dancing lights to light the area up, but I guess it doesn't do anything.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I have like lightning and shit, but that'll only like let me see for a second or two.
It doesn't seem like an effective.
Everything's just dark for me, but I can see everything.
Yeah, dark vision is black and white.
Yeah. I have
so you have
goggles.
Everybody has dark vision. Yep, you have dark vision goggles. So
Everybody
you should be seeing black and white. C-Swab sees nothing because he doesn't have dark vision. It's just dark.
Well, little like star-like motes float around on the deck of the ship for a bit.
There's a 10-foot dim light.
It's 4 of them, though.
Okay. 2, 3, 4.
Sure, I can see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could always smell Grebella, but you know.
Wow!
To light source to light source.
I took a bath.
All right. So what now,
Grebella?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Past life.
I'm gonna shimmy down to the power system, and we're gonna start channeling through the resilient sphere. The modified power conduits are gonna keep that pushed across the whole ship here, and should provide us some good stability to go down. I say should. I wasn't actually up here when they ran the test, so Esther signed off on the papers.
That's
everything seemed
I trust Esther far more than you.
At least theoretically, everything should be stable. We didn't really take into account any, external factors, but internally, I think we should be okay. Morris looks much less optimistic, but nods in agreement.
Just making sure you did at least take in the external factor of a lot of water, right?
Yes. And we did some calculations regarding the crushing pressure. Morris sweats a little bit. Not my major, but I am an expert on Borean shards, and we should have enough power in order to keep that spell going for approximately, he looks at his watch, 4 hours.
That's probably fine.
After that, you probably will see some cracks forming, some weaknesses. So I wouldn't push your luck over anything over 4 hours.
Great. Well, what do we say everybody gets a nice little nap before we get started? Or wait, you need me to cast the spell though, right?
We do. That's the last thing we need to hook up into the, calculations. But thanks to Wangdoodle, we're essentially ready. The conduit's good. We've re-rigged the ship and diverted the rest of the power sources to maintaining the spell. So, Rain, it's really all on you.
Great. Do I cast that spell now or before we submerge?
I would suggest right before we submerge, unless you're expecting some airborne pressure, or, well, I didn't really calculate going out into, the astral, he thinks.
Why
Let's
would
not
we
go
into the astral.
I don't know. The ship goes up, ship goes down.
I mean, eventually we'll get there, but like not today, Morris.
You can't explain that.
All right, well, I'm going to take a little nap then before we go.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Let's not worry about Morris undercalculating. There was a reason we told you to stick with the,
Grebella will pat both Esther and Morris on the head.
Oh.
Esther has literally never let me down. Morris,
Yeah, I don't understand doors.
Hey!
I love you, Morris. You're just
right.
a feeble human. It's fine.
Okay. You guys should have a little bit of time to rest while we take the airship out into the open ocean. So I'd take full advantage of that if you can.
Yeah.
And then, once we decide to descend, we'll have 4 hours before the, shield starts to crack.
Well, hopefully we shouldn't need that long.
Side note, Esther, were the still designs ever put to use?
Sorry, what did she say?
Were the designs for the still followed through on? Did we build a still or no?
Oh, yes, we did. It's actually in the basement. Well, of the dreaming.
Good.
But again, most of the power to anything that's really not related to the ship has been rerouted or diverted.
Okay. Well, not a problem. Listen, we know how to make fire. Really, I just need a heat element. I need a boil plate. We'll find a way to make it work. Come on.
All right. Do you take everybody back down into the dreaming?
Well, I mean, we go through the door, so yeah.
Okay. One moment, please. My scenes. We got airship.
My scenes, my beautiful scenes.
Do you all wish to go to the upper dreaming or the lower dreaming?
Rain's gonna take a nap. Probably the upper dreaming, but it sounds like Wangdoodle wants to do something downstairs. So since that's an active thing, maybe we just go down.
Yep. One moment.
Because Rain did fire 2 disintegrates into that Kraken, if y'all
She
recall. Would rather, not have all my highest level spell slots missing.
I also brought Chompy out, so you know. Chompy ain't cheap.
Chompy ain't cheap. And put Esther here.
Where?
You know what they say, chomping ain't easy.
Actually, chomping is very easy. It's just not cheap.
Stepping through the curtain of the arcane Audacity to the south, you re-enter the shimmering form of the dreaming that is permanently attached to the ship. Rain, you do sense kind of a weakening between the grasp the dreaming has on the ship as all the magical power has been diverted. But it's still attached, though it does cause you a bit of mild concern. It's almost like, the ship is more like a daydream than a solid, formed fact.
Lucaris is not getting his REM sleep. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, you're taxing him pretty hard right now.
Well, all right. Well, you can go check out the crystal if you want. It's in the basement, and make sure everything is looking good. Or, you guys can take a long rest, and, well, with that map you gave me, we'll be able to fly over the abyss and wake you when we're about to submerge.
Rain will take her long rest and prep spells for murdering a lich.
Okay.
I heard you say something in the other room, Cherry, but you were muted.
Grebella went up a floor.
Yeah, she's gonna take a bath. She said
She's all
Aw.
self-conscious because he's swamped.
Rude.
Go take a bath with Ool.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Go to sleep and to wake her up if she's needed, but I assume not.
Wang Doodle, the door to the crystal chamber is hidden behind the statue to the south.
Oh, yeah. There it is. I can... Yeah, my eyes work again.
The crystal thrums with power as it's being overcharged. By your calculations, it's primed and ready, and just waiting for the spell to be cast upon it. And once the spell is cast upon the crystal, it will radiate outside the perimeter of the ship. Close enough to be protective, but not far enough to be inefficient.
Whew, okay. Here goes
Vroom,
nothing.
vroom, vroom.
Oh boy. Alright, it's gonna be a long one.
There is a thrum, and a brief pause that makes your heart skip a beat as you wonder, did it work? And Rain, there's like a strange disjunction almost as you feel the sphere forming around the ship. And normally you would think it would cut off the Dreaming's connection from the ship. The way Wang Doodle has actually finessed it keeps the ship and the Dreaming together in a safely protective sphere. Everybody can take a long rest. As the ship thrums with power, errant bolts and waves of energy course through you all, giving you a boost of arcane power that may not have been in your calculations. And although the trip is somewhat short, you feel prepared and ready to take on the day. Perhaps a small blessing from Lucaris. Or perhaps just, if there was too much power diverted to the shields, they might actually become unstable. So it's best to pass it through a living body. Right, Wang Doodle?
Yeah, absolutely.
But with that said, the sphere has been cast.
I hate sleeping in the power room.
Wang Doodle, as you emerge from the depths, everyone is taking a bit of a nap and preparing for the journey ahead. Esther and Morris greet you excitedly.
We checked up on the ship. We went up to the deck while you were casting the spell, and we saw the shield forming. It looks perfect.
Good. Yeah, everything seems to be working fine at the core. We're gonna get 4-ish hours out of this.
All
I
right.
hope it's submerging.
we're about ready to pitch down. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Cast the spell. We have to be. Let's go.
Okay.
Hope Grebella finished her bath.
I'm trying to come downstairs.
Or upstairs. I don't remember which direction I'm supposed to go.
The upper Dreaming Tower has the baths in it.
Right. I was trying to come to where everybody is currently. Oh god.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm stuck in the stairs.
You know, that happened to me too the first couple times.
Yeah. Are we ready?
Well, spell's already been cast, so yep. Probably all should get out on deck and get ready to defend the ship if we need to.
Do I go up or down to get to the deck?
Up.
Up.
Up until you get to the orb. And then ponder the orb.
And ponder orb.
Is this the orb?
It is.
It is.
The water fountain.
The splooshy orb.
All right. Rain, you feel the ship pitching and submerging, bouncing buoyantly on the top of the water, before finally the cores fire, and the ship pitches almost straight downward. One moment, please. Oops, let me do one more thing. One moment, please.
This break brought to you by Kozlo's Den.
Kozlo's Den, the hottest place in Maginox.
Kozlo's Den, come on by or I'll fucking cut you.
We are every day from 4 to 4:10.
All right, just to confirm, I want to make sure everybody can see what I can see. If you click on the Audacity, you should be able to see an 180-degree cone in front of the ship. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like at an angle sideways in front of the ship. But
I only see like a 90-degree cone.
Sorry, it should be like 180, like from the middle of the ship forward. You should not be able to see behind you.
Yeah, I don't see behind me, but I only see like the cone only goes to like the top and to the left 90, and then like there's like a hard right at like 90-degree angle.
yeah, it's a
right.
It's a quarter circle, not a half circle. So it's
Oh yeah, it's because we're butted up against the edge of the scene. Okay, perfect.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. The Audacity pitches down into the waves, and you can hear some worrisome cracks as the pressure finally starts hitting the shield. But it holds, and you can feel the ship shake the further you get down into the abyss. The lighting systems do go up and provide you some meager vision. As the ship finally comes to a slight stop, the ground continues to pitch downwards, and you see in front of you worryingly large bones of an ancient creature, long deceased under the waves. From here, I'll allow you to decide how the Audacity will move. The Audacity will, it can go forward. You can take a turn to move it to the side, or turn 45 degrees. But yeah, consider yourselves steering the ship, but you all need to agree on where exactly you're going to be going, because it will affect what you see and how you explore.
While we're figuring that out, Kozlo is going to get everybody within 30 feet of him and cast water breathing on up to 10 people, so the party and whoever else is around, which will last for 24 hours. I'm going to cast it as a ritual.
Oh, perfect. All right. Hopefully you don't need to be subjected to the crushing pressure of the depths, because breathing the water will be the last thing you'll have to worry about. It'll probably be the 20d10 around force damage if you happen to leave the safety of the bubble of the ship.
Look, we can figure that out when we get to it.
Rain will also go ahead and cast a telepathic bond if we're doing a ritual real quick.
Okay.
And she has her pirate's hat on.
The ship's lighting sources, only illuminating the front of the ship and not the back, since you all are on the Audacity, give you an idea that this ground still pitches ever downwards. And further on, you can see a slight glimmer of light. Something phosphorescent. Fluorescent? Phosphorescent? Fluorescent? Yes, something glowing. Yeah, something glowing in the distance.
Something glow bright down there.
What do you do?
Well, Rain proposes that we kind of follow the spine of whatever this thing is and kind of like maybe make a 45-degree turn and go that way.
Yeah, let's see what's at the other end of that.
And keep following down. Down to Goblin Town.
Wait, there's a Goblin Town down here?
I thought Rascal said you had timeshares.
Sounds about right.
You see the bones continue to the west, but there is a sharp drop-off, a cliff to the north. Do you continue going down, or do you continue following the bones?
Sharp drop-off sounds like the ticket if we're looking for the abyss.
Yeah, I would assume the abyss is not at the not lowest point of the ocean.
Also, let's be honest. It's not the abyss. It's an abyss.
Oh, so maybe it's like a wish.com abyss that's actually not quite the deepest point in the ocean?
I was gonna say it was more like a franchise thing, right? Like it's a chain.
Yeah.
It's a chain.
It's definitely a franchise model.
So really quick, I am going to make each one of you the owner of the ship. So that means everybody will be able to see and access each part of the ship. If you double click on the Audacity, it should open its stats. Now the Audacity will, in its normal form, has about 375 hit points and a 15 AC. Swims currently 30 feet. Now, I'll have you click on features. There's a few things the Audacity can do, but on your turn, you can either choose to control the helm, which will adjust the way the Audacity is facing. If the helm is destroyed, you cannot turn the ship. Or, if you look down at the bottom, there are the ballistas. Now, the ballistas have been augmented by Wangdoodle and are able to shoot out of the sphere. The slow utilizing its power to pierce through the magical barrier and hopefully regenerate with the sheer power of the crystal powering it. Now, the dragon head figure of disintegration that's on the bottom there is currently non-functional. That would destroy your bubble. Also, wisely, all power has been diverted from it. So don't push the big red button. But this does allow each of you. You can all control the ship, and decide where it moves. But I would discuss amongst yourselves how you want it to move and where you want to go.
System seems stable.
Well, I agree with Kozlo. We should approach the abyss of the abyss.
And you can also decide on who's driving. Wang Doodle might be a good choice for this, as he has done most of the rigging on the magical parts of the ship.
I love it. I nominate Wang Doodle. Any seconds?
Listen, no, I'm going to keep an eye on our systems. Make
Kozlo,
sure that,
do you have a
power's
second?
good. I think Kozlo should do it.
Kozlo walks up to the helm, can barely see over it.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a try.
Can we get him a box?
Reminds me of something my cousin Gizmo told me about once.
Gizmo
Doodle
Green
gets a-
Finger?
Yeah.
Wang Doodle has a sudden idea and removes his the boot part of his armor and puts them down next to Kozlo. Here, step into these. This will fix the whole, height issue.
Wait, what am I stepping into?
Just a pair of boots that seem to mesh perfectly onto your feet.
Kozlo steps into the boots.
Ah, perfect. Okay. So just give me a second. And Wang Doodle goes down with an Allen wrench and tweaks at something in the heels. All of a sudden, a hiss comes from the boots, and they start slowly lifting up with levels coming out to stack up until Kozlo can see over the helm.
Your platform shoes. Have a platform. We'll call them the triple P shoes. But finally, you can peek over the helm.
Oh my god. Is this what it's like to be tall?
It's like stilts. Kozlo, you're approximately 6 feet tall. You can look Grebella in the eye.
This is weird. I can't see the underside of your chin.
What?
Okay, so the two artificers have decided to drive the ship. One of you can decide if you would like to move 30 feet or turn the ship. It is up to you.
I think we're headed straight forward, so probably just move 30 feet ahead.
All right.
Yeah, sure, works for me.
So all you. Pressing ahead, the ship's light catches something coming out of the depths. Swimming along in the bottom of the depths, nothing can escape the crushing pressure of the abyss. But this shark jaw skeleton is walking across the ground at the edge of a deep crevasse. Covered in seaweed and seemingly made of shark bones and jaws. It hovers just at the edge of the ship's light, walking across the bottom of this edge of the abyss. And as it catches the light of the ship, it looks up and opens its mouth wide.
You know, I just realized I actually kind of hate my family. Can we leave?
If we just if we list over to the port side, I think the broadside will probably take care of that.
All right. Yeah, let's turn a bit.
Just to be clear, this thing is like a 2x2 on a grid where the entire Audacity is like, what, a 2x4? So this thing is enormous.
This is very big.
It is very big.
Yeah, broadside should do it.
I don't remember how to turn.
If you click on it, you can hold shift and then mouse wheel.
All right. We might spin the wrong way.
Mouse wheel up is left. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, that should work.
The shark jaw skeleton clacks its teeth in the ship's general direction and points with a gnarled finger. Seems like you have been spotted. You continue floating above the waves. It moves closer, but bumps into the invisible shield that is projected even below the ship. And with searching shark-tooth fingers, pries at the ship's defenses, but the sphere is resilient and holds. Only the artificers can hear something in the back of their magical minds that is more akin to dry bones being drug across an arcane blackboard as the skeleton continues to claw at the sphere.
Do we want to engage on this, or do we just want to sail by it?
Yeah, I don't think we need to fight it unless we really, really have to.
I mean, we don't have to, but, you know, you got the cannons.
We do have the cannons, but I feel like once we use the cannons, everything knows we're here. Or are they silenced cannons? How does sound work under the water? I'm actually not sure. Science guys? No? Got nothing?
I was looking through to see the definition of the resilient sphere, see if it had anything. I mean, sound will still travel. I don't know how to silence a cannon. Haven't really worked on that. You know, the boom tells you it's working.
Well, what if we just keep going? We'll shoot it if we need to.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, artificers. You wish to move another 30 feet forward.
Yeah.
All
maybe
right.
not 30 feet, maybe like a little bit shorter so that it's lined up with the broadside.
Absolutely. One of you two can gently move that ship.
About like that. Oh, damn it.
As you continue pressing forward, you see another skeleton. The same as before, but on a cliff slightly higher, as this one to the east sits on a lower shelf. This one is about level with the ship, and you can see just how massive this thing is. It waddles towards the light, clearly stimulated.
I'm sort of concerned if we run into a shark from which that thing's jaws came from.
It begins to scratch at the resilient sphere. The crystal downstairs thrums with power and holds. But two skeletons now are scratching at it like curious cats on a giant ball.
We should probably get to moving and like faster. I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to hold if everything comes down and starts scratching at us.
No, we shooting them, or we just getting out of here?
I mean, if moving faster doesn't do it, then yeah, we'll shoot them.
If we get to the cliff at the edge there, they probably won't be able to follow us, right? Since they're walking along the ground.
Yeah. That should work.
So get us to the trench.
Moving along.
Oh,
shit.
shit!
The ship shunts forward, pressing on, moving out of the range of the shark jaw skeletons. But a massive bony hand, sitting at the bottom of the abyss for who knows how long, connected to an even larger pelvis, tells you a giant, no, perhaps even a titan, died here. But the more concerning thing is the very living coral drake that is spiraling out of the darkness of the abyss and presents itself before the bubble of the ship like a wide and proud dragonfly. It hisses, bubbles appearing from its mouth, and it says something in garbled Draconic. Does anyone speak Draconic?
I believe I do now.
I don't know how to pop out my shit.
Whale?
Do you speak whale?
I'm pretty sure I acquired Draconic when I became a dragon.
Let me... Oh yeah, it might help if you all had your tokens out, huh?
Yeah, I know. I was like...
Actually, for all intents and purposes, I will put you all on the field here. You can look at your character sheets.
Oh my god, you shrunk the ship, Wang Doodle.
Honey, I shrunk the ship.
I mean, I do like to be travel side.
Alright, who speaks Draconic?
So I thought I got it at one point, but it is not there
I
currently.
might actually, hold on.
Because my resistance to fire is also not there, so...
It would be weird if I didn't. So...
I speak primordial. I do not speak Draconic.
Yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to have Draconic and a slight fire resistance, but it is not there.
Wait, hold on, let me see resistance. Oh yeah, your fire resistance is gone. Let me fix that.
Huh, funny about that, I don't.
Do you know what you speak Draconic from, Grebella?
Becoming a dragon?
Oh, becoming you know what? I'll allow it. Let me fix your resistances real quick, though.
It does ring a bell that did happen, yeah, I agree.
Language, common, primordial. Okay, we'll put Draconic. Boop. Unsave. The coral drake, speaking in hissed and garbled Draconic, demands to know who intrudes upon the lair of Neris Flowborn, the Depth's mother. Grebella, you are apparently the only one who understands this drake.
Hi, hello. We don't really wanna...
or be crushed within the depths.
Say it again? The first part? I heard the crushing part.
Speak!
Hi.
You can hear Grebella just squawking at the dragon.
The dragon slams its tail against the barrier, and the ship lurches backwards, with everyone in tow.
We don't want to hurt you. We're just looking for
What should I say?
The coral drake
I don't know. As far as we're
swims
concerned,
up to the
Grebella's
side.
Just barking.
What should I say to this thing?
Well, is it friend or foe?
It seems pretty faux. It's slapping us around.
I need
Yeah,
to tell
what's
it
it
what we're
saying?
doing. What do I say? I need smart words.
Well, should we threaten it?
I don't think so. I think that's a bad idea. I'm trying to tell it what we're doing.
It slams its tail up against the ship again, also pushing you into the shark draw skeleton to the south.
Sir, we're trying not to. We're not here to hurt you.
Well,
But
you
we
can
are
tell
looking
him.
for something.
You can tell him to fuck off, or we're going to kill him.
I don't want to hurt you. We're looking for
Leave
something.
this unless you come with an offering for the Depths Mother.
Show him the skull. Show him the
Grebella just
skull.
stops.
All right, we gotta kill him.
No. Ah. See, so I was like very much against like the killing because he doesn't want to lose power to the ship and get crushed to death. Show them the skull. Show him the skull for a
He
reason.
said if we don't have an offering for the Depths Mother, he's gonna have an offering for the Depths Mother, he's gonna kill us. So I think we probably have to kill him.
We have an offering. It's the skull.
We do have the skull, actually. That's true.
I thought that was a whole other thing, and that doesn't. I don't think that's gonna work.
Why would
It's
you?
an offering for the Death Sword. That's exactly what it is.
The shark jaw skeleton picks up a large titan bone off the ground, begins to slam the sphere with it. Boom!
We
boom,
were supposed to
boom.
return that, though, weren't we?
Yeah, but we haven't done it yet. It's fine.
Right?
The coral
Don't
drake
think that's
slithers
gonna go
around the
well.
barrier. Offering will be crushed within the depths.
Well, we're not
Offering-
gonna give it to him. We have to go give it to her ourselves, right?
We have a gift for her, but we gotta get there. If you
Then
kill us, we can't.
Show
do
me
that.
your offering, and I shall
Show
deem it
it.
worthy.
Show it. Somebody who has it. It's not
Could
me.
You have it, Grebella, actually.
Could you not?
Do I? I didn't think I
Yeah,
had it.
trying to
Ray gave it to you.
Okay, Grebella will pull out the skull then.
The
I think
coral
she's
drake.
been looking for this.
The coral drake spins around to the south, slapping the shark jaw skeleton out of the way with his powerful tail. One beady black eye presses against the shield, unable to penetrate it as you hold the skull aloft. It rolls its eyes around, fixating on the skull. And it licks its lips. Proceed. It gives the ship one more little whap. Knocks it towards the abyss.
Yay, we got value out of the skull.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Let's get the fuck out of here, please. Yes, thanks.
Okay, let's go.
A massive, gaping trench lies before you, and even the powerful light that adorns the top of the Audacity cannot pierce this darkness. Out in the distance, glowing with a slight phosphorescent light, is a massive pearl within a giant clam. The clam sits upon a bed of ancient runes that remind you, Grebella, of the ones scrawled upon Goliath bones. I will move the rest of you, the ship. Do you proceed into the darkness the way the Titan's finger is pointing, or do you investigate the curious pearl?
Don't we know that the pearl is a thing or something? I can't remember.
This pearl has not been mentioned to you at all.
I think we have to go do our thing.
I think what we could do is get close enough to the pearl as we're heading down to maybe get a look at it. If we were to go up over this way or something. I don't know.
Right here. Yeah, makes sense. Sure. I'm game.
I'll move the rest of you with it. As you begin tilting the ship down in order to proceed into the depths, you see another shark jaw skeleton just off to the north, barely at the edge of the ship's light. This titan skeleton must have been absolutely massive, and it creates a bridge that spans the gap that is the abyss. Now that you've gotten a little bit closer, everybody can make me an Arcana check on the pearl. Jeez, Wangdoodle.
Damn, Wang
And when you
Doodle,
good,
yeah.
you good.
For Rain and Wangdoodle, there is a strong necrotic energy that radiates off this pearl, and as you get closer, it seems like the pearl is
singing with 100 cacophonous songs, but it sounds like the conjoined screaming of hundreds of trapped souls pressed in this pearl. The runes around it are a conduit of magic, summoning powerful necrotic energy, presumably from whatever rift this is sitting on, and empowering and encasing these souls using the pressure of the abyss in order to mash all of these things into a pearl, an immense magical battery, but powered by suffering.
Thanks,
Yeah, you're welcome. The Sharkjaw skeletons must be guarding this.
Well, we could set off some fireworks right now if we really wanted to. Or should we just kill Nerys first and then deal with this after?
I think maybe that one.
Then
Get
let's
this
go
thing
down.
on the way out.
Yeah, it does not seem to be
sure.
doing anything now. It's more akin to a battery sitting on a charging port.
It's, I don't know. Seems like maybe fucking with anything magic down here at the moment is maybe a bad idea, because that might just kill everyone we're coming down here to deal with. Which would
Alright.
include my ma.
Good point. Down we go.
I think we would pitch straight down at this point.
Okay. The ship pitches down, and you plunge into the darkness of the abyss. For a long period of time, there is nothing but the sheer walls and rushing waters coming up at you. As you continue into the darkness, you barely see coral here, seaweed, and the wildlife disappears, leaving you in just crushing darkness. And then, causing you all to jolt, the pressure suddenly stops, and you are suddenly found in a much lower pressure environment, and a massive cave sits off to the north, glowing with a faint purple aura. As the ship draws near, the massive gate opens, allowing the airship to easily pass through. The pressure is equalized here, and the gate closes behind you, revealing another large purple gate. You can leave the ship here and disembark. Peko gives you a warning. I absolutely sense a rift here. Somewhere very, very close. Now, one moment, please.
Echo says she senses a rift here. Which, means we're in the right place, I guess.
As the purple gate closes behind you, you have now entered the sanctuary of Nerys. The abyss clutch crawls before you. You are underwater. You are breathing water. But the pressure does not bother you. Here in this dungeon, you can... everything is swim speed. And you can go vertical as much as you like, as much as there is roof. As you enter the first parts of the clutch, you are greeted by bands of coral and barnacles that are sticking to the walls, and you see formed stairs and carved walls that make this an ideal building. A little tiny octopus greets you at the door as he swims around this underwater sanctuary. Garbled voices speaking in Aquan can be heard to the east. And a faint bit of glimmering greenish light comes from the cave to the east. There is a smaller, more humanoid-sized purple gate to the left, near where the octopus is currently swimming about. But that is where we will end today's session, as you have parked the Audacity in the Abyss's clutches, and now have entered Neresa's lair. But the exploration will have to wait until next week. Welcome to my underwater hell. And I hope you will all enjoy.
Oh my god. She made a water level.
The worst of the Mario levels.
Dude, the scariest dungeon in EverQuest was, like, to me, was always Kedge Keep. And it was entirely because, like, they fucked with, like, draw distance to make it feel really dark. Like, primordial gamer fears.
Oh, yeah.
It's been, like, 30 years and I still have trauma from the Sonic the Hedgehog drowning music.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Oh my god, so many triggers.
That is where we will end today's session, as you all will do a little bit of dungeon crawling next week. Sound good?
I didn't want to fight the giant thing in the water either, because I'm sure that we would all just died there.
We would have fine, C-Swab. I'll be fine.
We've got cannons. What else could you need?
We don't have power for the cannons.
We do have power for the cannon.
You can't use the disintegrate ray.
Just not the main gun.
Yeah.
It's like you don't shoot a gun on an airplane. You don't just shoot cannons underwater.
Well, I'm just sad. We put all that work, and by we I mean me, put all that work into making that wonderful disintegrate cannon, and we haven't been able to use it once.
We'll get there, Wang Doodle. I promise. The very next place we go, we won't even be able to take the Audacity, so it'll be great.
Gonna make a really, really long barrel for it. Just keep the ship in match, Nox. We'll just launch it. ICBM style.
Just send it.
You could have used the cannons at Rascal's Reef if you were there.
That would be very mean. But you did not have the Audacity in Rascal's Reef, so... And Rascal's Reef moves around a little bit.
So does the ship.
True.
I don't know what problem can't be solved with cannons.
Fair. Most can.
Check out the cannons while they shoot the... I don't know where I was going with that.
Kozlo, I like how you rolled a 3 on your Arcana check.
Yeah, I felt great about that. I like when my insight rolls start to bleed over into my other rolls.
Yeah,
into your actually good skills.
I had a +8 on it, so I was like, "Oh, this will be no problem
You're just
whatsoever."
storing it for the really big, important insight check.
Yeah. I'm saving it for Arctis 2.
Arctis 2.
Electric
No! All right, everybody. That'll be it for today. Thank you for joining me for a session. I'm going to go become catatonic on the couch.
Hey, y'all.
Perfect.
Thanks, Christina.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. All right, everybody. And that is it for the session today. Whoa. Thanks for joining. Watch our VODs in full on Arctis DD on YouTube. And you could watch our shorts and our funny moments over on TikTok and Twitter. And I'm your DM, Zarina. Hey. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for hanging out and everybody saying happy partner anniversary. Thank you. Goose, Devil, thanks, etc. Grayskulls, thank you guys so much. Spencer, you have a good evening too. DM's buffering. Yeah, I was definitely buffering there. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it. And we will be back with a good old dungeon crawl
next week. We'll get to see this group in action. It's going to be some pretty stressful situations. And there's a lot going down in a lich's lair, so I hope you join us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.